Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Paul and kind of seemed like, what's that phrase? There's like an elephant in the room, kind of, people are kind of wondering, but they're kind of nervous to ask me, and some people don't like talking about it. Some people do. It's their own personality. I don't mind talking about it, so feel free to come and ask me if you want, but I explained it to a couple different groups, and I'll try to keep this short and not take up too much time. But after telling it 2 or 3 times, I was like, man, can I just say it once? So anyways, a little background. I'm 33. I've been married 12 years to my wife. We have 3 little girls. Michaela's 10, Brianna is 6, and Madison is 3. Been in the Minnesota Army National Guard since I was 17, deployed to Iraq 2005, 2006, and like I said, I'm still in for the time being. We'll see if I get medicaled out or not. I'd like to stay in and keep serving, but we'll see how that goes. We live on 60 acres in central Minnesota, Little Falls. We both grew up on farms, and so anyways, to the meat and potatoes. I'll try not to make it too gruesome, because some people don't like all the details. But so anyways, it was 11/12/13. I'll never forget that day. Went deer hunting that morning, and took the day off work. Girls were at school, my wife was working. Weather was nice, wanted to get a lot of stuff done. Wanted to pick some cob corn, because we feed out a butcher steer every year. I keep one from our cows just for us to eat and butcher. But anyways, so took off in the field, whatever. Made about half a round, and I wanted to check and make sure everything was running right. And so was in a hurry, like I said, weather was nice, took off work, wanted to get a lot of stuff done. Just jump off the tractor quick, make sure everything's running right. I'll leave it running, it'll be real quick. Walked around, got about halfway around, checked to make sure it wasn't missing nothing or whatever, life was looking good. Get around the back side of it, and the husking bed was backing up, starting to fill up. And so, in a moment of not thinking straight in a hurry, took my right hand, reached inside the husking bed to pull out some cobs and stuff. And a little bit about it, there's 2 rollers that have they're real close to each other, because what they're doing is pulling the husk off the cob, and the husk is paper thin. It's just like paper, so that's the only distance in between there. So anyways, I grabbed my right hand, started pulling my fingers in. Right away, started pulling my fingers in. I planted my left arm, started pulling on my right hand to get it out of there, and I was so focused on my right hand that my left hand started getting yanked in by another shaft and started twisting around that one. So I was there for a minute or 2. Both arms were getting pulled in. I took my head and I planted it against the framework of the machine, because I didn't have no leverage, so I had my head planted against it, and I'm yanking on both my arms, it's pulling me in. Tractor's running wide open. Knew I was, losing energy, couldn't be there forever. Basically, I separated my right hand myself from the machine. Then I knew behind me was a township road, and I was hoping to try to flag people down or whatever I could do. So I turned my body partially around with my right hand, and I basically sprayed some blood on the right side of the machine, hoping someone would see the blood spray. Then I took it and I jammed it above my heart into my shoulder to try to slow the bleeding down, and turned back towards the machine. And then my left arm was still getting pulled in, and I felt the shaft on my foot run left and right. And I gingerly stepped on it, because I'm like, I'm in enough trouble the way it is, and there's another shaft, But, I didn't have much of a choice. And so I stepped on it lightly, and it slowed this one down. So then I stepped on it with all my body weight, and it stopped this one from spinning. I couldn't get my arm back out, because it was wrapped kind of like a hose reel. It was a full turn and a half. I see my fingers underneath my forearm. And so, but I couldn't get it out, but I slowed it down from pulling me in. And I was thinking about it the other night, just to throw in a little extra tidbit. When Jill Marie was here 2 nights ago, I was laying in bed, and probably like the rest of you, I had chants running through my head, and I'm trying to find the right one, and I already switched 4 times, and the words weren't right and everything, but Camp kept running into my head because she said to one, I can't remember if it was a whole group or just our small group, but she said, quit saying can't, because some people were saying, you know, I can't get that out of my head, or I can't do this, and she's like, that's not a good word. You know, like Paul said, I try to think I'm a positive guy most of my life, and I got my ups and downs like everybody else, but that kept on sticking in my head, and so then I was laying there, and I'm like, how many times have I said that in my life? And so I was thinking, and then all of a sudden popped in my head. The only times that I can remember saying can't to myself was when I was in that back of the corn picker by myself, having a little chat with the maker, and I kept telling myself, I can't die. I can't leave my kids without a father. I can't leave my wife without a husband. And I can't die, and I can't quit. And to me, that was, you know, I probably said it other things, but that's the only time that it stuck in my head when I said it. And so there again, I try to be positive most of my life. But so back to the story. I was in the back of that picker for about an hour, and then I remember cars going by, yelling, screaming, waiting for them to stop, never did. And then finally, I knew I was getting pretty tired, and I just remembered my tractor idling down and shutting off, and I was like, oh, thank God. And it was my neighbor, Kevin. And he was actually doing farm work too. He had driven by once already. He seen me. He thought I was just fixing it because I was just hunched over the back. And so when he drove by the second time, I hadn't moved, and he knew something was wrong. So then he stopped, helped me get out of it. And then I started bleeding because basically the machine was cutting off my veins or whatever. So then when he got me out, I started bleeding. He called 911. And luckily, I believe because of my military experience, I walked him through tourniqueting both of my arms below my elbows because he didn't know what to do. And so I had him take the string out of the hood of his jacket and a piece of baler twine and stuff and tourniqueted my arms, or he did it. Obviously, I didn't. But so he did that, and then he gave me his coat and stuff, and I was starting to go into shock pretty bad and shaking. And he said, what else can we do until the ambulance gets here? And I said, you got anything to eat or drink in your tractor? And he's like, well, I got a great pop. And I said, can I have it? And he said, sure. So he runs and gets it, and he opens it, you know, and he's giving me the pop, and he's like, what are you that thirsty? And I said, no, I'm going into shock. I need electrolytes, I need something in my body, I need, you know, to try to slow my heart rate down and everything. So I've talked to him many times since, and he's like, you had your arms ripped off and you were more calm than I was. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and you were telling me what to do. But so anyways, then ambulance came, and I was in the local hospital for just 10 minutes. Got airlifted to Minneapolis St. Paul to the hospital there, and they kept me awake the whole time. Stayed awake until I went into surgery. And was in surgery for 9 hours. I had 4 surgeries since. I got plates and pins in my left arm, and working on learning my right prosthetic. And that's why earlier, the first day when we were here, I said I was scheduled to come in November. And then I thought about coming in February. Like I said, I try to be positive, but I'm not always. That was a pretty tough time for me the first few months because pretty much do everything with my hands, and but I think now I'm on a upward spike, figuring it out, and life is what it is. I don't know, there ain't much else you can do. It doesn't pay to look backwards, and I never thought, of course, I'm just an average guy, central Minnesota. I'm nobody special, whatever, but I think to my family and kids and God, I am someone special, so it is what it is. just drive on. And some of it is from upbringing, growing up on a farm, learning values, working hard. Some of it could be military, and I'm sure some of that is too, and just the multiple things working together. And sometimes you get stuff thrown at you you can't control, and you just drive on, do what you got to do, and take care of the people you love, and that's about it.
Jamie,
can't remember
tell us about the cable.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
A lot of people have asked.
Thank you, yeah. The other thing too is just a little bit about prosthetics, just real quick. I'll try to keep it brief, but anyways, there's a couple different variations. There's body-powered ones, basically, and cosmetic ones, and electric ones. This one here is body-powered. It's fairly simple, but it's basically the most hardy, and they thought for me it would work out the best for what I do. So I can beat the pine tar out of this thing, they don't care. It's fairly simple to fix. I've broken it 4 times already, and they said that's good because that means I'm using it. So, but yeah, basically there's just a cable in here, there's a big stack of rubber bands, they close it. So once it's closed, I don't have to do anything. But this cable runs around my back here, it's anchored. So when I pull on that cable, it opens it. This harness runs across my shoulders here. And that in a nutshell is basically how it works. The electric ones work off muscle impulses inside of the socket. But this one I can get greasy, dirty, wet, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's pretty simple. The electric ones, they're getting their technology's a lot better. But I don't think I left nothing out. I think that was pretty much everything I was going to talk about.